keep it simple. I'm going to go with the guy who's leading the league in rushing touchdowns. He plays for the Vikings. I'm wearing purple. I'm going to say it's Dalvin Cook.
Right now, in his palatial estate, wherever it is that he lives, Hembo is cursing because that is correct.
You know where Hembo
Dalvin
is?
Cook has 9. Cam Newton and Todd Gurley have 8 each. Derrick Henry, who would have been my guess, has 7. So Dan Graziano, score 1 for Graz today, head-to-head with Hembo. Meanwhile, speaking of Cam, if you didn't see it last night, it was actually a pretty entertaining game. Let me catch you up. Patriots-Jets on Monday night. Going to pick it up in the fourth quarter. Pats had been down by 10 late in the fourth. The Jets' lead is 7. Joe Flacco inexplicably just throws this one up in the air. It's a ridiculous decision unless you're better off losing than winning. Patriots take over. Ensuing drive, 3rd and goal for the Pats. There's Cam with one of his red zone touchdowns. They tied the game at 27. 8 seconds left. Patriots, one last shot. It's Newton to Jacoby Myers. They get the timeout called after a 20-yard gain with 3 seconds left. Nick Folk on to attempt a 51-yard field goal. Adam Gase doesn't ice him because Trevor Lawrence looks really good. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Patriots win on that field goal. 30-27 your final, and there was much rejoicing. So that's how last night wrapped up Week 9 on the NFL schedule. It is Overreaction Tuesday with Mr. Graziano. Let's start with this. All the first-round rookie quarterbacks will be great. Is that an overreaction?
No way, man. Let's enjoy this. Look at Tua against Kyler Murray the other day, looking outstanding in his second start, all the different things he can do. Joe Burrow in Cincinnati is leading the league in passing attempts, toughing it out in spite of being whacked around all the time. Justin Herbert throws a deep ball that is the culmination of the concept of the forward pass. When Pop Warner, or whoever invented the forward pass, he was imagining Justin Herbert throwing the deep ball. This is going to be fun, these 3 guys.
Next one, Dalvin Cook is the best running back in the NFL. Is that an overreaction?
Not right now, it's not. He is absolutely out of his mind right now. 206 rushing yards to follow up on a monster performance from Week 8. He is dominating. He has the Vikings. You know, they're only a couple of games out of a playoff spot after that lousy start they had, and the main reason they're still hanging around is Dalvin Cook.
One more. The Bills have a better chance to make the Super Bowl than Seattle does. Is that an overreaction?
It's not. I wrote this right after I watched the Bills knock the Seahawks around in Buffalo the other day. Look, they are the more complete team. Seattle is not playing any defense at all. I mean, they just threw all over them all day. Buffalo won a game last week doing nothing but running the ball. They won a game this week doing nothing but passing the ball. Pass rush looked okay against Seattle. I think they're pretty well set up.
I think it's an interesting way to look at it. And yesterday, Dan Orlovsky was here with us, and he had this to say about the Bills specifically. Give a listen.
I think they're the team that's most equipped to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. 3 reasons why. 1, to beat the Chiefs, you have to be explosive on offense. You have to have a quarterback that can go above X's and O's. You better go above X's and O's because sometimes the defense is going to make a good play. And then the third thing would be this. They got a really good coaching staff. I think the Bills are the best and most equipped team to beat the Chiefs.
That was an interesting one. So let's go around the horn here with my entire crew. The question is, which team in the AFC is the biggest threat to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending champs? Swagoo, who do you like?
None of them. Nobody, G. We can keep having this conversation. Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, and Patrick Mahomes are playing with people. No one. No one. Don't let the Carolina score fool you. Don't let the loss to the Raiders fool you. This team is head and shoulders above everybody else in this league right now. Trust me when I tell you that.
I like it. He's got the Chiefs against the field. It is a commonly placed bet in places like Las Vegas. Jeff, who's the biggest threat to the Chiefs in the AFC?
I'm going Steelers. Look, I disagree with Dan. If you think about how you stop the Chiefs, it's not by outscoring them. They've lost, I think, 9 games scoring 31 points. You can't get to track me with these guys. You got to slow them down defensively. I think the Patriots almost beat them with Hoyer as by slowing down their offense, right? So the Steelers defense, they're good at all 3 levels. They can make plays. They can get turnovers. That's the way you're going to have to beat this Chiefs team. Doesn't matter about how good your offense is. Your defense got to step up and make plays. I'm going Steelers. Has the best chance. I love Swagoo's. Those Swagoo's cop out though. I'm picking somebody just a nobody. I love it.
Exactly what it was.
I'll allow it. If indeed I have that power, however, I like Swagoo's pick, so I'll allow it. Greg, who's the biggest threat in your mind to Kansas City in the AFC?
Well, I'll side with Jeff, and I'll say that Swagu's high because I think the Pittsburgh Steelers absolutely have the makings of a team that could cause some disruption. There's a couple things. One, they got a defense that can get after the passer. All right, they can get you down, and they can apply a lot of pressure. And we know that Patrick Mahomes is unbelievable in regards to making plays on his own when things break down. That's great. But I'm telling you, man, they can get after the quarterback, and they're starting to find themselves offensively. I love this empty formation stuff. It allows Ben Roethlisberger to get the ball out of his hands quickly, accurately, to very explosive wide receivers. They're starting to find themselves on that side of the ball. So don't let the game against the Cowboys fool you. The Steelers are for real.
Why is Marcus raising his hand?
Does he finally have an answer?
All right, guys, listen, I understand both of these guys being on Pittsburgh. If I was to have a team, I would be probably along the same lines with Dan. But here's the story for my Pittsburgh guys. The Ravens turned the ball over 4 times. That was a 1-possession game. And then the Cowboys last week, we just gonna act like that did not happen. Play like that against the Chiefs.
Okay.
Have a slow start.
So your 3-game road trip at Tennessee, at Baltimore. You expected them to come out and play well. Okay. All right.
We are talking about the Chiefs.
Let's get Graziano in here. Dan,
like
do you
Andy
have...
Reid, Chiefs.
It's a lot of airtime for a guy who doesn't have a pick, right? I mean, Marcus Spears. Look, I'm going to take it a little bit off the board, right? It's easy to pick an undefeated team, right? Who beat the Chiefs this year? One team is the Raiders. Now, that was not a fluky win, right? They executed a game plan. They kept Mahomes on the sideline. The Raiders are 5-3. They've played the toughest schedule in the league so far, according to FPI. They have 5 home games left out of their last 8. They have a pretty good chance to be in the playoffs. And if you run up against them in the playoffs and you're the Chiefs, I know they play again before the end of the regular season. But as of now, that's the team that has given you trouble this year more than any other. So I would say the biggest threat to knock them off in the playoffs. More so than the Steelers or nobody.
I would sign up right now for Andy Reid against John Gruden in a big playoff spot. That's for sure. All right, guys, sit tight because I insist we talk about golf because we are 2 days away from the Masters after a 7-month delay. This year's Masters champion will be crowned more than